by junior Kiana Smith. And Dana, if you're ready, we'll go ahead and get started with questions. Just give us your name and affiliation, and we'll get started.
Dana, this is Fred Calgill with WLKY, the CBS here in Louisville. Just talk about the vibe 3 weeks out. I mean, how you feel about this team going in. You had a lot of thoughts about where you guys were going to go last year in the postseason. You came back for a reason. Just some thoughts about what fuels you guys going into this winter.
I'm extremely excited because this team is different from some teams in the past that I've been with. We have a lot of different weapons, a lot of different scores. One thing about us, though, we're young, so that's where I have to be more of a captain and a leader, being vocal and making sure I'm staying on them. But as far as talent-wise, I think we have talent. We have girls that's willing to get better and put the time in, so I'm excited for this season.
If nobody else is going to go, I've got a follow-up for you. If you were sort of scouting this team, if you were an analyst for CBS Sports, what makes the Louisville Cardinals hard to beat? What do you like about them? And what are the things that maybe you guys need to improve on between now and March?
Hard to beat, I would say, is because of so many weapons. We got shooters, we got posts, we have girls that can get to the basket at will. We have a lot of different people that can do a lot of different things. That makes us really versatile. A lot of girls can play the 4, which will stretch the defense, like how Kylie Shook stretched the floor for us that can shoot the 3. I would say some things we'll have to clean up, though. Like I said, we have a lot of guards that's going to be playing the 4, which means as guards, as the 1, 2, and 3s, we're going to have to help clean up those rebounds and stuff like that because we're not as tall. We don't have Kylie Shook, Bianca, and Jazz, which you knew they were going to get about at least 6 rebounds a game. So we have to step up and rebound as guards. And I would say pretty much everything else will take care of itself.
Hi, Dana. This is Paulie with Cardinal Couple. Just give us an idea of how practice has been going so far.
Practice is really competitive. We got a lot of girls that's willing to do whatever it takes. So that makes it competitive. A lot of different people that can do a lot of things. Like I said, it's a fun team to be on. I can play the 1, the 2. Kiana can play the 1 through 4. We got Mikasa being able to play the 1 through 5. She's really versatile as well. So we have a lot of girls that's going to stretch the floor for us. We got Balgoon. She's shooting the ball really well, attacking the basket. She's lanky. She's going to be able to play the 4 as well. So just having that depth and girls that can mix up some things.
Dana Hayes, Jody Demling with Cardinal Authority. How anxious do you feel like you guys can get or are right now as far as Nick said, we're like 3 weeks away from a game, and how anxious are you guys just to get out there and play against somebody else?
We're really excited because, like I said, we're really competitive. So for us to just use what we have together against other teams is going to be really, really fun. We've been putting in the work since June, July. Some of us been putting in the work since April. So just being able to play against other people and just to see that hard work pay off and go get some W's is going to feel real good.
As a follow-up as well, what do you you've accomplished a lot in your career individually and as teams. Individually, let's not talk about team for a second. Individually, what do you kind of look for this season, and how can you do better than what you've done in the last couple of years on the floor?
Well, there's always room for improvement. So for me, I would say off the ball defense is something that I've been putting in time, rebounding, off the ball, playing off the ball more, let other people bring the ball up and score in different ways, finding people, getting people open shots, making their game easier than it have to be. Just being relentless, just being that person that you just can't take your eyes off, whether that's on defense or offense, just doing pretty much everything I can do.
I've got one more then if nobody else does. Dana, what do you feel like with Kianna? What does she bring? I know she sat out last year, so she's been around. She knows everybody, and she practiced. What does she bring this team that maybe you haven't had? Because Coach said she's kind of a different kind of dimension.
Well, like I said, she can play the 1 through 4. She has height. She's lengthy. She's long. She can do a lot of different things. She can score at a lot of different levels. She can shoot the mid-range, get to the basket. She definitely can shoot the three ball really good. That's what's going to help stretch the floor. She's also good at finding people, passing the ball up the floor, getting people easy shots. Playing a 1 through 4 is something. So she's a special player.
Dana, just kind of give us a report on the freshmen and how they're fitting into the program.
Oh, our freshmen, it's a really good class. We know what Haley can do. She's really talented. She can do pretty much everything, scoring, getting people involved, bringing the ball up, defensive pressure. She's really good at rebounding as well. Olivia, she's been giving us a lot, whether that's rebounding, taking charges. She gets everybody's going. And for her to be a post player, she has vision like a point guard. She can pass really well out of traps. She's been impressive. Our other freshman, Marissa, she's been doing really well for us. She's playing big at the 4. She can shoot the 3 mid-range. She can get to the basket. I think for her, though, she's gonna help us a lot because she mixes it up on defense, whether that's pressuring the ball, getting up, trapping the point guard, just giving us different looks. So, yeah, that's pretty much how our freshman is looking. I'm excited.
Dana, I asked you about Kiana. What about Alana and being the Junior College National Player of the Year she scored a lot. She did a lot of different things for her junior college team. What will she do and bring for this team this season?
Well, Alana, she's really good on defense. She's able to jump those passing lanes. She's aggressive. She gives us something on offense as well, whether that's hitting the open 3. She's really good at her mid-range pull-up off those ball screens. She can attack the rim and get people open as well. So she brings a little bit of everything. She's quick. She can get up the floor, give it to her early in transition. She can get to the basket and score. So that's pretty much what she's given us.
Hey, Dana, this is Shannon Russell from the Courier-Journal. As the senior on this team, how much do you put it on your shoulders to kind of galvanize this group? I know you said there's a lot of great pieces that are here on this roster, but in terms of bringing them together with chemistry and leadership, where does that sit with you?
Well, I carry a lot on my shoulders with this team because being the only senior means a lot. I just want them to know that I'm always here for them on and off the court. That goes a long way, being a captain, and just pushing them and making them sure that they know that I want them to give it their all on the court, and I'm going to be behind them, and we're going to make this team go.
Dana, this is Debbie Antonelli.
Go ahead, Debbie.
Oh, thank you. Dana, you go from being 6th player of the year to player of the year. What did you add to your game this year as the only senior with a lot of young pieces around and some new pieces to go with?
Well, I've added a lot of different things off the dribble, I would say, coming off those ball screens, getting crafty, different finishes, different floaters, moving without the ball, scoring off the ball rather than just getting to the basket or relocating off of a 3, playing off of my teammates. Like I said, Alana, Haley, Casa, Kiana, they're able to get me the ball when I'm coming off of a screen, or whether that's a down screen or a flare screen, just scoring in all different angles.
I'm sorry if I missed this at the very beginning, but talk about the combination of backcourt play and the different combinations that Jeff can go to and how deep you are in the backcourt.
We're really deep in the backcourt. We have a ton of guards that can do a lot of different things. I think that's what makes us so unique. We got a lot of guards that can shoot the 3, mid-range, and get to the basket at all 3 levels, getting everybody open shots. We don't have to take contested shots. We got enough girls that can make the open shot and can get in the lane and mix things up, whether that's a floater or kicking into an open shooter or hitting our post for an easy layup. So we got a lot of different weapons that can do so many different things. That's what's going to make us good.
And then, Dana, I'm sorry, one more thing for me is who's going to rebound for you guys so that you can be able to get out and transition and play the pace you want to play?
Yes, rebounding is going to be really important. Coach has been stressing it a lot to me that I cannot average 2.3 rebounds this year, and I won't. So that's something that I've been working on. And we got a lot of bigger guards that can rebound, as well as we know Mikasa's really good at rebounding. Kiana's 6 foot. She can rebound. Haley's aggressive. She goes to the glass hard. Alana's able to clean up rebounds as well. So, and we know what E can do. We know Elizabeth Balgoon, she's able to get in there and mix some things up too on offensive glass.
Anything else for Dana?
Hey, Dana, Dana, one more, Jody again. You guys have the first 2 games are on the road. It's obviously a different schedule early in the year and not as many games. Is that kind of a fun challenge because your schedule, you are kind of, you're on the road a couple games in the non-conference that maybe you normally wouldn't be. Is that kind of fun for this group because you are a younger group and just to see where you're at early on?
Yes, it's definitely going to be a challenge, but that's where I have to step up and be a leader and a captain and make sure that we're ready because we don't have much experience. We got a lot of girls that we know that they're talented, but we got to make sure that they're ready when the lights come on. So that's definitely going to be my job, and that's why we practice and work hard every day to make sure we're ready when that time comes.
Nick, may I ask one more of Dana?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. Dana, again, it's Debbie. A lot of times when teams are getting ready to play for you guys, they play against you guys, they pump in music in practice because it's so loud. And some places you go on the road, it's really loud. It's not going to be like that this year. What do you think that's going to feel like, and how do you prepare people for maybe, I don't want to say crickets in the arena, but being able to hear everything that's going on the court?
Well, I would say that's why we have teammates. We have to stick together and we have to bring our own energy. Like Coach Purcell say, we have to bring our own juice, whether that's hyping our teammates up or whatever the cause may be. Just we have to be the energy because we can't depend on fans to do it because we don't know if there will be or if there won't be fans. So we have to bring the energy.
Thank you, Dana.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Hi, Nick.
Hey, Kiana. All right. John, if you're ready, we'll go ahead and get started. Just like we did with Dana, just give us your name and affiliation. And whoever wants to get us started.
I'm Kiana Smith. I'm a redshirt junior from Moreno Valley, California.
Okay. Who wants to start us?
This is Debbie. I'll go first, Kiana. Debbie Antonelli with ESPN. Last year, there were times that Jeff said you might have been the best player in practice last year. What did you learn from being in the system for a year, and how does that make you ready to go right now?
Yeah, I mean, I just learned I got to sit back and watch the game, and I feel like I took a lot of basketball knowledge from Coach Walls last year, just learning how to watch the defense, read the defense a little better, and also just competing against Dana, Jazz, Kylie, all people, Dana who will eventually get drafted, and Jazz, Kylie who got drafted last year. Just playing against them every day in practice and competing, I think that really prepared me for this year to step up and contribute big.
Kiana, hey,
Kiana,
Go ahead, Debbie.
Go ahead,
Jody,
Debbie.
I'm so sorry. Jody, Nick, Kiana, I apologize. Jody, it's great to hear your voice, by the way, buddy.
Thank you.
Kiana, what have you seen in Dana? You're an experienced, mature player. Dana is Player of the Year from last year. She's the only senior. What have you seen in her that gives you confidence and adds to all the depth that you guys have to play with?
Right. I think one thing that I see in Dana is just her leadership and her voice this year. That's different from last year. She's stepping up big for us. And sometimes if we are young on the court in practice, she controls the floor really well and just pick and choose. Like, she also instills trust in all of us, knowing that we have a lot of depth and talent. She looks to us, gives us confidence to be able to score as well. So Dana has just been a great leader so far, and I expect her to continue that throughout this season.
Kiana, hey, it's Jody. What you sat out all of last year. You had to sit and watch, although you could practice, and then you go through a pandemic when there's been so kind of not knowing what was going to happen. How ready are you for November 25th to get here and to get back on the court in a real game?
Yeah, I'm super excited. It was a long wait last year, and I'm just excited to finally be able to put on a jersey again and play. And I know COVID has pushed that back, and there's been a lot of uncertainty. So I'm just grateful that we're able to get some games and get started here pretty soon.
And as a follow-up, Jeff was talking last week about your versatility. Kind of, have you been? I mean, I assume he said 1 through 4. You've been kind of. He's been kind of moving you all around. What's that like to kind of learn the different roles and what you might be doing in a different time in a different lineup with a different combination?
Right. I mean, I think it's great. I think I've just been able to learn the game a lot more, and basketball is basketball for me, whatever position I'm playing. I'm just reading the defense, and that's what I feel like I took a lot from Coach Walls last year. Whether that be I'm the 4 position or the point guard position, I'm just reading my defense and playing basketball the same way at every position. So Coach Walls being able to shift me around 1 through 4, I think that's just been beneficial for me, just learning the game even more.
Kiana, you were able to redshirt last year with a couple of other players that will get the chance to play this year. What have you seen out of your fellow redshirts from last year on the practice court so far this year and how their game has improved?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing in them has been their confidence has improved a lot. They came in last year as freshmen, and they got a lot Romani got a lot stronger. Naya slimmed down a lot and has gotten in shape. So I think they're both ready to contribute big as well.
Kiana, this is Debbie again. I think you guys have been together almost the whole team since the beginning of June. Not many programs have been able to practice and prepare as long as you have. Do you feel like that gives you an advantage somehow?
Yeah, I definitely do. We got an opportunity to build some chemistry that other teams haven't had, and be able to eventually play 5-on-5 where other teams haven't. So I think that definitely gives us an advantage, but we're not really looking into any game that we have an advantage. We have a really big chip on our shoulder coming into this season, knowing that we didn't get to finish last season how we wanted to in the ACC tournament. And so every game we're just going to go in with a chip on our shoulder. So even though we feel like we do have an advantage that way, we're still really excited about the season.
Anything else for Kiana? All right.
Cool.
Thanks, Kiana.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody, for joining.